Sankrantiki Vassanam.
Yes.
That's exactly a year ago.
Absolutely.
So you waited an entire year to come back with Anaganaga Oka Raja.
Right.
And I keep saying Oka Roju because that's typically what it is, and it's
Correct.
Oka Raja. So with Naveen Polishetty, and that's your film.
Yes.
What have you been doing in this year apart from adding the extra A?
So apart from that, I think it's been a really long year for me in the sense that even though like it's exactly 1 year that my film's going to release from the last release I had, and that's not something that I had in mind because for the last 3 years I've continuously had like multiple releases in a year. So probably 2025 was the only year where it was kind of a little calm and less chaotic in terms of the releases and promotions and stuff. However, I have been shooting for 2 films. One was this film and the other is Naga Chaitanya's film, which
Rishabha,
is...
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's also going to be releasing this year. But both the films demanded so much of, the year and my time in terms of the expansion and the days that they required for me for the shoot. Is where I was really caught up. Apart from that, I think I took my time off. Some days are slow, some months are slow, and some years are slow. And that does not mean that there's no movement happening or there's no progress happening. I feel like I really needed this because the last 3 years, like I mentioned, have been so hectic and chaotic. The first year out of those 3 years was when I was kind of finishing my degree and also acting in like both the languages, Tamil and Telugu. And then I had multiple releases happening. So it was too much to kind of wrap my head around, but I was just going with it on an autopilot mode. So I think this year was the year where I actually got a breather, and I'm really glad I did.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, even though you do want to just keep working and keep having something or the other of your work out, I think sometimes it's important to give yourself that breather as well. And that really helps you focus more on your work. And I think I did a lot of traveling, a lot of reading, spent some time with my family, did other things apart from acting, which I think was very much needed for this year.
I totally agree with you,
Yeah.
but there's also... So I'm this very type A kind of person. So there's one part of me that's always like, if I'm not doing something,
Right.
I can vacate. What is the verb for vacate? I can vacate or whatever it is for
Right.
maybe 2-3 days.
Correct.
And then the
correct.
4th day, like something kicks in, and I'm like, oh my God,
God,
this is like,
yes.
somebody else has got this interview, or somebody
Right.
is doing this, or somebody is doing that. What's
Right.
happening that this movie is released, and
True.
I want to
True.
it's just like sometimes you're. I wouldn't call it unhealthy. It's just the way you are.
Absolutely.
So I'm the way I am. So,
Absolutely.
But what does that ever happen with you?
Oh my God, all the time. I'm
Yeah.
exactly like you when it comes to that. I feel like for me, if I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm not being productive enough in a day if I don't do something with regards to my work or working on myself in that space. So this year had a lot of ups and downs like that, because when you have nothing of yours releasing, but you are working, but the world outside doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then you'll see certain articles saying that, after giving a big hit or a blockbuster like that, where is she? Has she stopped getting offers? And I'm like, you don't even know what I'm doing, but I don't have to go out and explain it to them. So I think it's the social media age that's kind of become this space for you to try to prove, even though you are working, you don't have to tell it to anybody, but they'll just kind of put you in a spot where you're like, you will start thinking, wait, do I have to be doing something? Do I have to kind of keep being in the limelight for them to know that, hey, yes, you know what, I'm doing this work. So that kind of was a little difficult in that space for me, but in my own personal space, I know I'm doing a lot.
Yeah.
Every single day, I'm kind of getting into something. I would probably take a writing course that I would love to kind of engage in and do forward something in the future. Or I'm just going out traveling because, a lot of your acting has got to do with your own life experiences, because you understand life better for you to be able to portray it on screen. And I think that when you're just working on camera, you kind of lose touch with yourself, which I think happens a lot because you're not playing yourself, you're playing a character, and then there's a certain direction that is given to you and how you have to, play that around
Right.
the film.